I've moved them to a different location. I just went through the group. Another one of those nice frames too. So this is what you want your cell starter. Larva out here, really. And I've got a cover that's obviously like chock full of bees. Hey guys, Todd with State Street Honey. Today I'm out at one of my yards and I've decided to make some queenless nukes in preparation for the queen cells that are going to be emerging on Sunday. And I don't know if you can see behind me, but I've got a, looks like a 4-story colony that's doing really well. There's probably 30 pounds of honey on that top box, and but I was in the other day and I noticed that some of the bees had some deformed wing virus, and that's sort of indicative of a viromite problem. Hi Yoda. Hey buddy. Get out here. Hey, off. Anyway, jeez. Oh gosh. You guys. Okay. The resident Yoda. Anyway, so what I want to do is make my queenless nukes ready to go, and I'm trying something new this time. I've got a standard medium box which I typically use, and I found actually this weed matting in my shed, and I figured, Yoda, come on, go. I found some of this weed matting in my shed, and I thought, oh, that would be actually a decent replacement for the grain sacks that I've been using, and it fits. It feels really nice, and I don't think it'll wick too much moisture in the wintertime when it rains. And this is just perfect for keeping the bees compartmentalized and not overlapping. Even though I've got these division boards, what I've done is make 2 division boards per box to make 3 separate nukes, and these will fit 3 frames each. And then I've drilled holes. I've already duct taped them though, but I've got holes on all of the sides. And that way, this is where the exit and the entrance point is for each colony, and they're separated and whatnot. So, but yeah, so 3 frames total. What I've decided to do is I've harvested some nice worker comb from my other colonies that just didn't need them or whatever. And I am going to take some of this fresh pollen that I've harvested. It's super fresh. It's still really moist and quite delicious, actually. But what I want to do is I want to give these queenless nukes all the resources that they need to thrive and do well. So I'm actually going to take some of this fresh pollen, and this is a completely empty frame, and sort of just pick a nice quadrant to pour this pollen into. And it's probably hard to see, but this stuff is just falling into the cells, and it pretty much stays there. And then you just sort of mash it in and rub it in, and it's in there, and it's good. And there's this beautiful variety of nice, natural, harvested bee pollen that is just going to give your bees, it's going to give them that jump start that they need, I'll still put a pollen patty, a pollen sub on top, a little bit, but you just can't beat the natural stuff. So whatever. So you want to set it up in your favor to do the best you can do. So anyway, that's what we're going to do. I did the pollen. I'm going to do the rest of these frames, and then we're going to start to move the bees into the nukes. Okay, so we've actually got a nuke on top of the hive that we're going to sort of cannibalize. So we'll move that, and then we'll start to inspect. I'm just going to fire my smoker a little bit here. Here we go. Just making sure I see the queen. Actually, bees look pretty healthy. I saw one deformed wing virus. A lot of the drones look good though, which is always a good sign. the other nice thing that this pollen frame does is it has a lot of open space. So it has some room for the queen. If she needs to lay, she can lay up. So that's what you're kind of looking for. Okay, so I've gone through my colony that was actually doing really well, but you know, gotta sacrifice something. Can't make an omelet without breaking some eggs. Anyway, I've got 9 super strong, what are gonna be queenless nukes here pretty soon. So I'm gonna just put the matting over top. They've already been duct taped, and put them in the car to take them to the new location, so they, you know, they don't reorientate and drift back to the mother colony. So that's it, and yeah, now we're gonna do some driving on the freeway with some bees. Always fun. Okay, we did the transfer. We shook out some bees and got frames of brood and some nectar, and so there are a total of 9 queenless mating nukes here. They all are really strong, looking really good, so I'm psyched. We're going to drive over to my other yard to open up the holes and let them fly and orientate. So yeah, that's that. I've got a ratchet strap here, but sometimes I wish I had a truck. But you know, we can't have it all. So see you at the yard. Hey guys, we're back. We're in the new yard in San Bruno, and I've just taken all of our mating nukes, put them on their pallets, and I'm just going to release the bees. So that's pretty much it for today. You know, it'd be neat to check on the queen cells, but they're pretty in a very delicate state right now, so it's best not to mess with them. We'll just do that when we come back in a couple days to transfer the cells into these mating nukes, and then we're actually going to move these probably a little more than half of the mating nukes to different yards, just to vary up the genetics as well. So that's about it, and yeah, let me know if you have any questions, okay? Here we go, here's the show. Today is day 14 from egg hatch and day 10 from our graft day. So that means that we need to move our queen cells into our mating nukes. Now, the past 2 days I've been making up queenless mating nukes, and I've been using standard equipment with division boards to separate 3 different compartments and 1 medium hive body, and 3 frames per sort of colony or a new queenless nuke. And I've done 6 of them right now in total, so that gives me a complete total of 18 queenless mating nukes. Now, if you remember, I had 24, what looked like 24 queen cells that were being drawn out successfully. But, you know, sometimes they will abort 1 or 2 or 3, so I've left myself some wiggle room, and I can always sort of cannibalize the mating nuke. I'm sorry, the queenless, or the cell builder with some of those bees to start some new nukes as well. So anyway, today that's what we're going to do. We're gonna open up the cell builder first and see, you know, what our final take is, and then we'll go back to our nukes and we'll ready them. I'm going to go through those, all of them, to make sure to knock down any queen cells that have been started, just to make sure that you know they don't have a chance at making a queen, and they'll successfully accept the queen cells that I give them. And we'll do that today, and then my plan is tomorrow I'll come back super early in the morning, duct tape the entrances, and then I'm going to move most of these queenless nukes to different yards to mate with different drone populations, because the queen that I grafted off from is from this yard, and some of her daughters are here too, so or sisters. So I don't want to mix too many genetics. I want to have a variance. So that's what we're gonna do. But anyway, yeah, let's get to it. And here's G. That's our graft bar. There's a lot of fresh wax from obviously from the sugar syrup that I gave them. So I'm actually gonna remove a couple combs over to start with, and this will give me the working space to sort of move my my graft bar, right? 'Cause, that is our booty. That's our gold right now. We don't want to do anything to destroy it. But there's all that. That's probably all the sugar water in there, glistening. I don't know if you guys can see that, but shimmering in there. Okay, worst case scenario too, there are no grafts because some sort of rogue queen either found her way in here or something emerged early. And I forgot my knife, and I'm going to tell you, this is going to be a pain in the butt because they built all this extra wax around our cells. But wow, don't those look pretty? Nice, big, long cells. Oh man. Those are really good looking. So I think less than what originally I counted, but that's okay. Alright, so it's like 21 with a couple that are, so-so. And what I'm going to do is just shake this frame, put this away somewhere, and that way I've got, room to move. And actually I've got a pocket knife in my van, so I'm going to go get that as well to help me cut the queen cells, but also we're going to go through the mating nukes now and make sure that they are queenless and didn't draw out these cells and tear those down if we need to. So here's our graft frame. And now the arduous task of brushing off all of these bees. There are a lot of bees. The problem is they just fly right back. I flipped the lid to let myself know that I inspected the hive and it was queenless. And then here's a frame of brood, obviously, that you want to find. And I think I'm actually going to stick it where some open cells are. But definitely in the middle. There's a little bit of nectar right here. That's kind of where you want them to come out. Maybe in the middle of the cluster. There's your cell, right in the middle. Bees are already kind of smelling it, going, "Oh, what's this? This is a queen. It smells good. All right." And you can see there's still royal jelly left over, so that queen has had all she needs to eat, and they'll probably chew the tip off pretty soon, and then she'll emerge on Sunday, and things will be good. To make these, these queenless nukes pretty strong. I've had trouble in the past, just trying to get away with too little. You want everything, everything to be strong, whether it's your queen cell builder, your mating nukes. I mean, you want big, strong everything when it comes to, you know, bees, and I'm sure animal husbandry on the whole, right? Mowed the grass here, weed whacked. It is just, it's got me good. Surgery here. Doctor, 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 doctor. I love Spies Like Us. I don't know if anybody else does. To me, that's such a classic 80s movie. Doctor, 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 doctor. Something about Chevy Chase and Aykroyd, those guys too. Just love them. And yeah, I mean, not every cell had copious amounts of jelly left over. Ideally, you want it that way. I forgot to show you one trick that that I've done in the past that works actually pretty well, and that is to you know, I just didn't have the time, and I wanted to make this video, and I just kind of got overzealous, and but you know, ideally, if you have the time, you know, you put in 10 frames of brood even before you do this, let it hatch out, and then you separate. You've got, you know, that many more bees. But what a neat trick is, the day before you graft, pop in a frame of brood on your queenless colony, and they'll start to build out some queen cells on that brood, and it actually primes the nurse bees up. And I thought, oh, if I did that, I would waste all that the royal jelly from the nurse bees, and you'd get, you know, smaller queen cells. But the reverse is true. You actually get bigger, longer queen cells. And I didn't do this time, so, you know, bummer. But next time. Okay, guys, that's a wrap. So in summary, what we did was 17 days ago, found the queen in a 5-story colony in the top 2 boxes. We put a queen excluder under her, let her lay up for about 7 days, and then we separated her to basically make a new standalone colony. We then grafted larvae off of a select breeder queen, and then we placed those grafts into that queenless cell builder. And we started off, we had 34 grafts in total. And I came back 2-3 days later, and they had done 24 out of 34, which is about 75%. Today, this is day 10 from graft. We checked back in, and there were 21 total cells taken. And at first look, about half had, well, probably a little bit more than half had like really nice amounts of royal jelly left over, and the others I was kind of like, suspect on. But as I went through and placed them in the new queenless colonies, you know, on further inspection, when you look at the top of the JZBZ cells, they're pretty much like, you know, transparent, and you can see it, and there was still royal jelly left over. So maybe not as much in some, but I think all the queens had enough to eat, so that's always a good sign. I need to get like a little bowl or a basket with a hot towel, because I actually like stepped in one of the really nice queen cells that I was going to put in the colony, so that's kind of a bummer. So we finished with 20 queen cells. Like I said, I made 18 nucs up, queenless nucs. So one cell breached those nucs, and then the queen builder, I just left in the graft bar. There was two queen cells, so I just left those in there and made the best queen win. So yeah, now it's sort of a waiting game. You know, minimum 2, better 3 weeks to wait to go in and check to see, you know, whether the queen emerged and she made it and she's laying and all that jazz. So I mean, we're really like, we've done a ton of work, but we're only halfway there, right? We've climbed Everest, but now we still got to get back down. And you know, now it's up to nature, it's up to the queen to do it. She's got to fly out, she's got to avoid birds, bad weather, you know, who knows what else, mate with, you know, a nice amount of drones, and then come back and start laying in the colony. So we'll check back in 3 weeks, and hopefully, you know, we get a good take. But that's it for now, right? I hope you enjoyed
this series on queen cell building. I'll probably do another one. This is my first time. Hopefully you found it informative, but there's always room for improvement, okay? So see you in 3 or 4 weeks.